Hi friend, how are you? I'm glad you're here. Thank you for spending your time with me. If you are new, hi, my name is Amy and this is Renewing Stitches. This is my YouTube channel about cross stitch, sometimes crochet, but mostly cross stitch. Renewing stitches because I love the older vintage patterns, the 70s, 80s, 90s, the time I grew up, and what I remember stitching growing up, and going into college and as a young adult. So I am hearkening back to that era, and I have lots of magazines and patterns from then that I have acquired, and so some magazines that I've had for a while, but most of it has been acquired recently, and my love has been renewed. Hence, Renewing Stitches. I am stitching several of the older stitches. I also do a flip through series of vintage cross stitch magazines. This one is barely vintage. It was January of 2002, so 2002. Yeah. This is not old to me, but it is 23 years old, about to be 24, because it was released in November of 01. So we're going to be flipping through this weekend, so stay tuned for that. But most of my magazines and flip throughs are from the 80s and 90s, so you're welcome to go check those out. And if you are returning, thank you, sweet friend. Thank you for spending your time with me. If you are returning, or if you are new, or if you are just dropping by and you just accidentally found me, so welcome. We do talk about cross stitch, and at first I'm going to start off with a correction. So last week when I was talking about Flosstubers I had watched the previous week, I said Debbie from Stitching in South Jersey. Hi, Debbie. If you're watching, hi. I had watched her first video at the time, and I said the second one was a whip parade, her whip parade. But alas, it is the second part of 3 fun, enabling, just eye candy whip parade. Just go, if you're interested in whip parades, then that is a fun one. I know there will be a lot of whip parades starting next month and into January, but if you want to just go ahead and get started, then please go check her out. Great projects, very good, patriotic, good stuff. There's one I had not seen before. It was an Artisy, just as an aside, signing of the Declaration of Independence, and it's kind of it's a black and white. I'm assuming a black and white photo that has been charted and cross stitched. It's a picture that I've seen before, but I did not know was available in cross stitch. And I have been wanting to stitch. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. The 272 words, 242 words, the Gettysburg Address, which wasn't signed at the Declaration of Independence, but I wonder if there's I wonder if there's the declaration that has been charted. That would be good with it. Just thinking out loud. And where the cloud, we've got 2 whole clouds and one is right there. So it's a little dark. It'll brighten up here again shortly. Anyway, that was my rambling thought of the Declaration cross stitch pattern from Artisy. So on my mind. Anyway, other lovely Flosstubers that I have been watching. Stitchin' Bee, Ellie. She's in the UK. Hi, Ellie, if you're watching this. It's Stitchin' Bee, Stitch Inbee. Stitchin', or without the G. However, I will link her below so you don't have to write it down. Another enabling one. A couple of Mill Hill kits. The one from Summer House Stitch Works that I had not seen yet. Sweet. Just, So you see, I do stitch new stuff. If you're new, I do stitch new stuff. But I like the old too. Another one, a Wee Scott in Yorkshire. This is Allie. She is half of the duo of Yorkshire Dolly Mixtures, and it's been a while since we've had a video from Allie or Ellie. as a duo or singularly. So it's really good to see Ellie again. She's got quite a variety too, and it's good to see her. I've been watching the Yorkshire Dolly Mixtures since the beginning, and I've been missing them. So, and then new to Flosstube is stitching on Island Time. That's right, and it is Lori and Mallory, mom and daughter duo. Hi friends, if you're watching, loved the first video. Multi-crafters, lots of crafting happening there, quilting, just general crafting, stitching. That Mallory she does a lot, and so they're good to watch too. So been watching them, caught up with Carolyn Zook, Zook Stitch. I'm sure you'll watch her. Leanne Small Town Stitches. I'm sure you'll watch her, and I've mentioned them before, so I will link them below. But there's a lot of floss tubes, and they're all glorious. So I'm going to move on now because it's 6 minutes in, and y'all want to see the stitching. So here we go. Okay, I didn't have any FFOs, and this one is in the WIP pile, but it's a start finish in the WIP. I don't know what that's called. If you know what that's called, we need an acronym, I guess, for it. But this is a part of my WIP for the butterfly hoop. Now the butterfly hoop is going to go here. It usually resides here, but I took it down to work on add a butterfly to it and put that up just to fill that space. But that'll change next video. So I stitched from Leisure Arts Spring Beauties. This is from 1991. And I did that one right there. I don't know if you could see. There's blue around the edge and orange. You really can't see it. I want to do this one too, and I want to do a brown one. What took me so long, because I've had it down from here for a couple of weeks now, I was thinking about placement, and and I want to do this one too. So I'll be adding through the years, I guess. But this is placement. The ones that are sitting singularly I will be freehanding a branch or a grass or something on my hoop later. And I wonder if I could do like a really thin ribbon or different colors of ribbon to make it look like grass. I don't know. That's for later me. But this is a 14-inch hoop, and I left it on the hoop. This is a booger to stitch on a 14-inch hoop. I don't have a stand. That would be helpful. But to hold it with this hand and to stitch with this hand, I poke and stab. It's a booger. So I leave the hoop on, so it'll I'll know my where I'm going to place it, and then when I iron it, I'm going to try to go to the far corners. There will be multiple butterflies. So this one was the last one, and then these two were the first one, and that's the most recent. Let's see. Oh, you can't see the blue. I can't see the blue on the screen. There's blue. Blue and orange. It's 9:30, and what was the orange? 9:21. So eventually it'll have, and I'm going to freehand it, and it'll be a really thin, because depending on where the placement is of everybody else is where these will be. So I have an idea in my head. It's getting there slowly, but I wanted to add, I have lots of older patterns that have butterflies and a couple of new ones. There's one that I printed off from, it was a freebie from Heaven and Earth Design. I don't have it here, but it is, I think it's still available if you look in the freebies. It's a fairy, I think, sitting, but in the top corner there's a butterfly. Well, actually, there's two or three butterflies, but it's pretty big. I don't know that I mean, it would probably take up this whole hoop because it won't be that big, but it would be pretty big. So I'm going to save that for another project and then just continue with the butterflies. And so I'll do, these two and maybe that one, and then this one and that one. I mean, I'll scatter them out throughout, but as I feel like I want to pull it down and work on it, then I'll add one or two. But that is, there we go. It's going to hang. Yikes! Oh, Ginger, my dog Ginger's under there. She's okay. It's okay. It's going to hang like this. This will be the top. So that's just a tiny little one I had for a start. But I'll leave my fabric under here. It'll be okay. I'm not worried about it. And you'll see it through as it's sitting up there. But when it gets done, I will trim it off and do the back properly. So that is all of the jibber jabber I'm going to say about my butterfly hoop. But you will see it up there next week. I may pull it down. My thought was to originally, my thought was to do 24 butterflies this year. I have 4. So I may just do 4 a year for a while. One a quarter, maybe. That might work until I get it pretty full, or as full as I want it. So I don't know. It's a how I feel, I guess, kind of stitch. But in my mind, I have an idea. How long it's going to take me, I have no idea. So next one I worked on is the Heritage Sampler. This is from Plum Street, right here. And I'm stitching this on a 40 count Country Mocha Newcastle linen, doing 1/2 using DMC. The DMC called for, except it calls for 822 for the white, and I'm using 3865 because 822 just blends in too much with my fabric. So let's see. Now, last time, so here it is right here. Last time I was working on this stalks of wheat, and I had 16. This is over 1. That's right, I remember now. So the prompt for Laura Stitching by the Shore, hi friend, an October prompt was something spooky on her I Spy challenge, and I said over 1 stitching is spooky because it's intimidating. Not really spooky, but it can be. And I had done the 16 last time. So I finished out the 2 and the 0, and then I added the other 2 wheat stalks. And then I started to go down because I thought, I want to get to the bottom. I know I had enough room, but I wanted to just get to the bottom. So I think I had this done. And then, so I went all the way down and I brought this down, started the urn and got across. And now, so this right here is the flag pole. This flag pole. So my thought is to go up to the flag and then come across and do the outside and maybe just get a start on that house, because I think that's going to be full. And I know I want to do this one next, and I do, but if I can go ahead and get the outline mapped for this, and then I can just go back and forth, because this is full coverage completely. So I thought I could do, a little bit here, and so is that, for that matter. I mean, that's full coverage, but sorry for the glare, do some up here and then come down and do a couple of strands here. This will be easy. The over 1 down here will be maybe less spooky. And then over here it will be fine. So that's my thought. But here it is. So I got a good bit done, mapping wise. There is a miscount here. I'm off by half a stitch, so I just cut the flower off because I didn't want it to be as close. And I may go back and put that on and just leave it half a stitch next to the border. I'm okay with that. It makes it mine, right? It's not perfect. I'm certainly not perfect. makes it special to me. I don't know that my boys will care that it's half a stitch off when they receive it later. All right. Next up is Winter Rose Manor. Isn't she a beaut? This is by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. I'm stitching on a 46 count natural. Now this is a far cry. Okay, so, well, we'll review later. Okay, 46 count natural linen, 1/2, and I'm using a DMC conversion. And I'm converting the conversion. Not converting, I'm changing some of the conversion. Not a lot of it, but I wanted it to look more like the picture than the colors that were called for. Now, the floss in here that is called for is not DMC. There's not a DMC conversion in here. It is Weeks and Gentle Arts and Classic Colorworks. But my sweet friend Pat found a conversion, and so she shared it, and I've been using it, and I need to write that down so I can give proper credit to the person who did the conversion. She's on Instagram, I know that, so I will share that with you next time. Let's see. We're doing good on time. 46 count, which it makes it, it's going to be 8x8-ish. This is 1/2 using DMC, and I had just to start, so I had all this done, the door done, and some of the vine here. Well, this vine, I added this here. And then most of my time was spent filling in the stairs, and I did the vine, and then I started counting the house over and up, window, and part of the plant. So it's going to be fun. I mean, 8 inches, I don't know how big my hand is, but it's going to be a little bit bigger than my hand. So I'll have, like right there. Can you imagine? It's so tiny. But so lovely. I love this pattern. Ever since I saw it, well, lots of people have stitched it, but recently Emily of Emily Williams Flosstube, hi Emily, finished it, and so lovely. So my in-person friends are stitching this with me, and somebody else. I can't remember. Oh dear, I need to write that down. I don't know that I have it down. Let's see. Do I have it? Let me go through my notes real quick. Winter Rose. Where are you? I know I've gone through it recently. Okay, well, I will write it down. I know I have it written down somewhere, but stitching with friends. So, lovely. And then the last one I stitched on, okay, 18 minutes, is Cinnamon Stars. This is from Plum Street. I've been working on this. Now, I want to review stitch count. So, we have, let me move that out of the way. This is 18. This is 40. This one's 40 count. Isn't that a lovely fabric? Oh, I love that. And then Winter Rose is 46. So that equals a 23 right there. And then we have, and those are lovely fabrics. Then we have favorite, the old Crew 14 count from years gone by, which is so good for this fabric, for this pattern. Oh my, look at that. It's just all, I just love this. I mean, you can't really, yeah, I guess that's right there maybe. It's just a Crew fabric from back in the day that, anyway, So let's see, I worked on some of the roof, finished around here, and I got this roof filled in. This is all DMC called for. I did change the colors in here because they were blending in with my roof color. The roof is I don't remember. I'd have to go look in my bag, but the called for specialty fiber is a variegated, but since I'm using DMC, the one that was closest to it at the time was this color something or other, DMC. Well, it blended too much with what was called for DMC with the quilt motif here. So I changed those. I just picked a couple of other colors and just swapped them out. But oh, also I did backstitch the outside of the house, and I'll do it on the other side too. It just, the mortar just blended in too much with the ecru. So anyway, oh, and I did I'm starting the motif there. So that is it. So I will continue to fill in the house, start on the other side, work on the stars, my favorite part. There we go. You see how that's really a lot lighter than the DMC called for? Right here. It's more of a gray. So, and I like the variegated on that side of the house because it looks like wood. But since I didn't have it, I'm doing DMC, and that's just as lovely. So, all right. So that is all I've been working on, friend. So, if you are across from me now, I would ask, what have you been working on? So what have you been working on? Let me know down below. Let's see. Plans. Oh, I was going to share about my WIPGO. So I thought I had given up on WIPGO, but with the last several finishes, I really had those, because I guess last Tuesday, Jessie Marie of Jessie Marie Does Stuff called or maybe last Monday, and I hadn't gotten the numbers yet. She called the numbers for November, which means the last two that are left are for December. Well, it turns out that my December calls I've already finished, so they're off the WIPGO board. Oh, they're on, but I marked them out, so that's already done. So really, I'm only behind 4, and oh no, I was behind 5, and I did the butterfly, so I counted that as the 5th one. So really, I only have 4 left, and they are Louisa Acton and the Botanical Rebel, and Shores of Hawkrun Hollow, the 10th square, and then the Rose Cottage sampler. So I don't know that I'll get the Rose Cottage done, but I can put a good chunk in. Louisa Acton is probably doable. The 10th square of the Shores of Hawkrun Hollow is probably doable, and the Botanical Rebel, maybe. So I'm going to spend the last 2 months, this month and next month, working. Well, I'll be working on other things too, but I want to try to finish 3 of the 4. And if I can get Rose Cottage done, that would be grand. But, so I think I'm going to keep going. So it's really not a quit if I picked it back up again, right? So, this is my WIPGO board. Randomize the numbers, randomize the projects, and then I changed the projects about halfway through the year from new starts to WIPs. And that worked pretty good. But I have 4 so that have not finished. So that is my goal for November, December. Also, still working through plans for next year. I have a couple of new starts planned. Been watching the plans videos, which has been glorious because there's a lot of I want to say innovation, creativity. That's it. A lot of creativity with plans videos. Leanne and Sarah Stitch Mommy are both doing. And then who did Leanne see it from? y'all probably already know. Anyway, go watch Leanne and Sarah, Stitch and Mommy. Leanne of Small Town Stitches. They explain their plans for next year. Really good. And it's a temperature challenge. Try to say that fast. So I've thought about that. I have pulled several of the Pinker and Pumpkin smalls. I think I pulled just one house. Pulled meaning I have them in a folder on my computer of what I might put on my WIPGO next year. And they'll be smalls, like extra smalls, doable, but also, I guess I need to think about what I'm going to do with them once they're done. Because do I really need 25 pillows in my dough bowl? I didn't think about that till just now. Okay. But there are people doing, I'm just talking this out now. Sorry. There are people doing 25 ornaments for 25. I can do 25 ornaments. And take pieces out of Pinker and Pumpkin. Take, I have some vintage books that have smalls and it makes some ornaments. That would really help my finishing skills, making 25 ornaments, wouldn't it? Okay. I guess that's all. I think that's all. Oh, I'll show you this real quick. I pulled this out. This is a chart that I created when I got my charting software many moons ago. And I have recharted it and fixed it since I stitched it and then made subsequent seasons. So I'm thinking about putting this out next month as a freebie for December. I may do like a seasonal. I don't know. We'll see. Actually, I'm going to save it. So I'll save it for next time. I have it out because I've been fixing it, but I'll save it. I'll save it for December, and that'll be a surprise. Surprise, happy Christmas chart. Well, it's winter. It's not a Christmas chart, but anyway, that would be my gift to you for winter Christmas. I think I'll do that. Ha! Thank you. I will make a note. So that'll be a freebie next month. All right, so coming up this week, we'll flip through. Well, I've already flipped through. You'll be seeing a flip through of the Crazy for Cross Stitch Patterns magazine. I will be working on one of the 4, maybe 2 of the 4 WIPGOs that I have left. And who knows what other wonderfulness that will happen between now and then. All right, so I hope y'all have a wonderful week. I hope you just enjoy your time stitching, and I will let you go and not ramble anymore so you can see other Flosstubers. Have a lovely week. I will see you next week, and I will see you in the comments. Thank you again for your sweet time and your precious time. Anyway, I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Bye, friends.